Show us. That doesn't really work, does it? Have you tried? Oh, that's good. Oh, fantastic. Oh, fantastic. Better. So much better. What a fantastic, fantastic tune. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. They have everything for young men to enjoy. You can hang out with all the boys. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. Young man, there's no need to feel down. Young man, pick yourself off the ground. I've been Donald Trump. Thank you and good night.
And what size?
This one's from Jeremy in Wisconsin. And it says, Tuffy brand coffee is the best coffee in the world. Thanks for the grift.
Anyway, I'm going to find out who this quartering character is. And when I do, he's going to get a bit of the old ice troll treatment.
From loathing Brie Larson to being the unofficial #1 fan site for Brie Larson.
How about a handshake? You're gonna give me your jacket, your helmet, and your motorcycle, and in return, I'm gonna let you keep your hand.
What is going on, everybody? Happy Monday. How are you?
Good. How are you?
You know,
good to be back on the most beautiful place on earth, Miami, Florida.
Oh yeah, Miami, my hammy. I'll be down there soon. I'm working on a little something. What are you
We're gonna start a content house in Florida, I thought.
Yeah, so working on a little. It's not very close to where Luke lives, though. Like it'd be like a 2 or 3 hour drive.
Sounds like a crap hole that's gonna fall through.
I'm gonna fly into Miami though, and then stop by Luke's dump and then go over there. Yeah, what do you got there? What are you drinking there out of aluminum can coated in plastic?
How do you know it's coated in plastic? You don't know if this is coated in plastic or not. Some of them are. Some of them are.
Some ocean spray. Are you working on a UTI? You know you're supposed to wipe. You know you're supposed to wipe back to front.
Cranberry juice.
Wait, front to back.
Cranberry juice tastes very similar to energy drinks without any of the like negative stuff. It has a little bit of sugar, so that's the only negative thing about it.
It's probably natural sugar.
Affecting yourself, giving yourself an energy boost psychologically.
But it tastes really good, and I really like it, and I enjoy it. And
my wife
you will not
likes
be
those.
shaming me, Mr. Dare Me.
my wife drinks the V8 ones. Like she likes those. The V8, like they don't have as much caffeine as like energy drinks, but like It's all like natural stuff. So there's a little bit of sugar in it.
This tastes like a Red Bull. I really like Red Bulls, but they're horrible for you, as you know, Jeremy. I remember fighting them out of your bloody claws.
I shamed you into not drinking yours. Let's not pretend.
And I poured one
in
front of you.
That was stupid.
To make an example.
$3 down the drain. I would have drank it.
$2.50. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, $2.50.
All right.
Yeah.
So these actually taste pretty good. And they're not the healthiest, but they're okay. You know, they're not bad.
Where are we at on the pumpkin / ladybug? Mrs. The Quartering has weighed in, but I want to see if you're going to pick the right thing first or not.
Okay. I took it to the head of my household, my husband, obviously, partially because he's the Halloween guy, and partially because I'm indecisive. And
both good reasons.
He currently wants to do a ladybug, but not like cute. We can order it ladybug. He's like looking up pictures of pincers and like arms. And like, he's like, I want to look at it and be freaked out. Which, we're 17 days away from Halloween, roughly. Like, I think this is going to be quite the challenge. It feels like a Project Runway challenge.
Just make it a pumpkin.
Yeah, I mean, I think your husband may be getting into a little bit of the classic biting off more than he can chew. I looked at him. I was like, "So, am I making this costume, or are you making this costume?" Yeah. Which he does make like cool costumes. I don't want to fault him too much, but again, like he has 17 days. Yeah. And like if Amazon next day shipping is a thing, but
I checked. There's no realistic ladybug costume on Amazon.
The best time to buy a Halloween costume, November
after 1st. Halloween. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't prepared last year to buy a baby Halloween costume. Let me tell you.
So, when you don't really know, like
you buy the pumpkin. Listen, you buy the pumpkin costume November 1st. Everyone's gonna be happy. There's gonna be no problems, and that's a ceasefire middle ground type of option here.
Oh, I see. We can have a mother-daughter thing here. I think Amazon has something that you both could use, and I think your husband might thank me. This is available.
Something super weird.
No, I think this is very ladybuggy, right? So that could be you. And then let's see, ladybug. No,
I feel like you're not understanding that it's supposed to be like an actual bug. None of this like
this is called
this is
called adult harassment, Jeremy.
All right.
Look at okay, the one you have your finger over we talked about, but that ladybug is not realistic enough. It doesn't. It's only supposed to have spots in the back. It doesn't have multiple legs.
Yeah, I could see that.
My baby doesn't have a Halloween costume this year. I hate to say it.
No. Don't say that.
Sorry,
the whole chat would be
down.
Yeah, the chat would not. Like,
if anyone can source for me a realistic ladybug costume for a small baby, I would really appreciate it. Let me know.
I will cover the cost. So if we have anybody in the chat,
I'll put it in the private chat. I found one.
Let's see.
I found one.
Oh yeah, it looks just like a ladybug. Okay, is this one?
Yeah.
This one is cute though. I will say.
It's super cute.
It might be a little too big. Because
the best thing about Luke is that he was toddler. Like day one pumpkin and has committed ever since. Like as soon as Luke has his babies, they're going to be like a whole pumpkin patch. It's going to be great.
Oh yeah, that would be funny. Yeah,
especially if you like multiples. Like if you have quadruplets, why are you not doing a pumpkin patch costume? I don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, let's see. Yep.
Chat is here for like entertainment and politics news.
This one's kind of realistic because it's got the wings.
Yeah, but it's too big.
Yeah, it's only for 1 to 2 year olds. This one, that's for adults though, but it's got the wings and it's got
the big objection has been that the polka dots don't go on the abdomen, thorax, I don't know what, of the ladybug.
Right.
So this is like a cop out. You know what I'm saying? The party dress, no. She's not a ladybug princess. She has to be a
okay. Well, how about this ladybug. One? I like where this one's going to.
Is that like a ladybug hooker? What is this?
What? No. Yeah. I mean, I see
what is she? A German ladybug barmaid?
Of all the red light districts. What is this, Jeremy?
Oh my God.
I thought you wanted me to do a family costume, not a like dumb.
I thought you were going to church recently. Costume. What is this nonsense, huh?
This really isn't a ladybug.
Those are butterfly shaped wings.
Yeah, that's not right either. Yeah, we're
It's
gonna have
hard.
to chat. I guarantee we have someone in chat that can.
You could just whip up a
Yeah, it's like a
realistic...
ladybug's got to eat too. That's right, they do. I mean,
What is
what
that? No.
I'm just looking at our options. Oh, how about these little wings? That could work.
The wings could be good.
And look how
that's
small
at
they
least
are.
partway to a costume.
Yeah.
Okay.
That might be the hardest part is the wings, because you could just dress.
Just put the baby in black.
All in
and then
black.
you could like get
Yeah.
some wigs for the arms. That was my thought, at least.
Yeah, you could probably find the pieces here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. Well,
I think he wants her to have like mandible. I don't know what ladybugs have going on in the front, but it's a whole thing. And
breasts. Oh,
What?
the legs and the mandible things.
yeah, like the pincers or like whatever's on
Yeah.
the face of the ladybug.
Yeah, I think those would be. Let's get this dialed up here. See if we can get this. Yeah, this is.
'Cause I thought you could do,
these little
like,
things here.
Yeah.
These are probably some sort of sensors, to like.
Like you could do them as headbands, and you could do the white things as like the top of a hoodie,
Yeah, and also
And then
this
Bill
like
Gates is
white
gonna try to
coloring
eat
here.
You should make the husband Bill Gates, and then he's trying to eat the bugs.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, just
You're
have
welcome.
him carry a fork and knife with him.
Just
Like
for
he
that
doesn't.
look, next year I'll consider
And
a
a bug
pumpkin
catcher
costume.
outfit.
Yeah.
And a airplane ticket to Epstein Island.
Oh, you could get this
And as
brown
soon as
like.
people see him, they'll be like, "Oh, so where are the ladybugs?" It'll be great.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh no! There's a Lindsey Graham comment here that's very disturbing.
Oh
I
no!
don't wanna know.
What is it?
That I'm going to save myself and not make. But don't look up Lindsey Graham ladybug. Don't do that.
Okay, I definitely won't do it. I'm not
No.
doing it.
No.
wanna
Do
be a
not
part of
redeem it.
I'm redeeming it.
Meaning,
No.
Wait a
No,
minute.
it's far more disturbing than that's not appropriate. This is not appropriate
this?
for the
Lindsey
viewing
Graham began
audience.
trending an unfounded claim, conspiracy theory implying Graham
No.
alleged secret identity or behavior related to ladybugs. The term
No.
was a mocker accused him. What did
are
he
you
do
gonna
to
ruin
the
this
ladybug?
ladybug costume for me? Am I about to have to go back to the drawing board?
You could be Lindsey Graham's ladybugs.
Oh no!
Boo! Boo!
When I
Boo!
came out
Ruining
of the
Halloween!
This is about Lindsey Graham. When I came out of the bedroom, he was on the bed naked on all fours.
No.
I know that there were dark marks around his anus. I asked if he had showered. He thought they were poop. He said yes. Asked if he was okay if I wiped him down. He said sure. I wet a face towel and wiped between his buttocks, and nothing was coming off. Then I realized his taint wasn't dirty. It was just full of moles. Dark moles in dense clusters up and down the length of his taint. Those are just, he referred to them as his little ladybugs. Oh,
Oh, that's
Lindsey
ruining
Graham.
my child's Halloween costume. Thanks, boys.
Now you got to do the pumpkin. Now you have to do the pumpkin.
Now I'm gonna leave this show.
Oh, Lindsey Graham,
I said
no.
don't redeem it.
I
said do not redeem
I
it.
can't
That's
not
like 90 seconds
redeem
of my
that.
life I'll never get back, Jeremy.
Oh,
I
my
said
God.
it. Don't redeem it. I said don't do it. I said
Look,
Why are you leaving it on the screen, you psycho?
I took it off. I got Trump on there now. The people tune into this show to get a little
Now it
different.
definitely has to be pumpkins. Now,
Yeah, now it might be
I
better
always
if
get
it
my
were
way.
pumpkins. It
I'm
might
not never telling
be.
you anything personal ever again. Ugh.
Yeah, well, before we get into all of the great news about Trump, which basically everybody probably the chat's mortified.
Good. You all should be mortified.
Yeah, I do want to give at the beginning of the show, before we get into the Trump stuff, a quick shout out to Perplexity and Comet. Let me ask you something. How much time do you spend every day on a web browser? How much time do you spend clicking around online, searching, scrolling, typing, endless tabs? It's a lot, right? Well, there's a new AI browser from Perplexity called Comet that's completely changing the way you're able to interact with your browser. Using Comet feels like having a personal assistant living in your web browser that can actually do things for you across the internet. Yes, do things, not just give you answers. You can ask Comet to handle tasks for you, and it literally clicks, types, searches, and scrolls just like you would to get things done for you in the background while you go about your day. Comet can shop for you, make reservations, book travel, summarize articles or videos, send emails, schedule meetings, and a lot more to make your life easier. Let me show you how it works. Look, you guys know I publish 5, 6, 7 videos a day and do several live streams. Comet has made my life a lot easier in doing my research, finding stories for the day, summarizing stuff, setting up things to remind me about topics I want to do the next day. It's been amazing. The whole thing is really cool, right? Download Perplexity's new AI browser, Comet, by heading to pplx.ai/thequartering. The link will be in the description too. Let your browser work for you right now. Plus, when you download Comet, you get a month of Rumble Premium for free. That's pplx.ai/quartering. Go now and take back your time online. Well, I hope everyone has had a moment to palate cleanse. Chat is broken. I'm seeing a lot of what a terrible day to have ears. Apparently HCB. I broke HCB. I didn't. I just did my job. I read. Luke sent it.
I did not send it.
So, by the way, we're back on Twitch now after a unceremonious 7-day ban.
Why were we banned?
I'm not
What
sure.
they banned it for?
They were unclear. It said that I used a slur, which I generally don't. It might have been the calling someone the R word, but I think Twitch doesn't really ban people for that because I hear Asmongold say it all the time. So I don't know. Someone Rubber Toast says, this is why I tune in every day. I'm laughing out loud at work right now. Hey, see, I love it. Now, you know how many, what's great about this?
I just saw someone say that they canceled their lunch.
See, this is what's great about this. I'm inspiring people to cut calories. And now there's a good chance, you know, that a good percentage of the 10 or 15,000 people that heard that story are now going to tell someone else. So someone else is it's going to proliferate.
Yeah, if you see anyone in a ladybug costume this Halloween, you have to interrupt them, stop them immediately, and tell them about this conspiracy.
No, you got to go say, oh, did you dress up as Lindsey Graham's taint moles? And then they're like, what? I'm a ladybug. And then they're like, oh, oh, let me tell you. So Hannah Claire,
everyone dressed as a pumpkin.
Yeah,
like, good job.
You know what? I got screwed out of the pumpkin patch again this weekend. I went. I was having my guitar set up, so we were going Friday to pick that up, and then we were like halfway there, and my wife said, "I don't know, like women sometimes, Hannah Claire. You guys are like,
we're a wacky bunch.
You're like." Not exactly always upfront about what you want. I know this, not you probably, but other women, not women who listen to this show.
I'm not trying to be better than other women, right?
So
We're part of decoding us.
It's like they want you to be a mind reader. You got to be in their minds and know their wants and needs and feelings all the time. Like we're some kind of freaking genie. Just tell us.
So she didn't want to make me mad, but like, so we had to go to pick up my guitar. Then we were going to go to the pumpkin farm. Then we were going to go out to dinner. And I was like, well, I want to go to the guitar store because it's in Milwaukee and traffic sucks. It was like 4:00 on a Friday. I wanted to beat the traffic. Okay. And at some point, she had told me that the pumpkin farm closes at 5 or something like that. Oh. So essentially it was like, we need to go to the pumpkin farm first. But like, she didn't want to make me mad. So she didn't remind me of that when we left. So we get to the guitar store. I'm like, all right, let's go to the pumpkin farm. And she's like, oh, they close in like 20 minutes. I'm like, well, why didn't you tell me that? She's like, well, I did tell you, but you forgot. And I didn't want to make you mad on the way there. I'm like, well, now I'm double mad. It's like, I would have just gone to the pumpkin farm and then went to the guitar store. It wouldn't have been that big a deal.
But she doesn't want to go to the pumpkin farm and feel rushed. Like you're like, okay, pick out your pumpkin, get your cider. Like we got to go do this other thing. You know, really, she wanted you to go to the guitar store another day. But she didn't want to say that because that's not right.
Yeah, there was something. But then I was like, well, crap. But then we ended up going out to getting a nice dinner anyway. And we'll go one day during the week. Not today because it's raining. And being at the pumpkin farm in the rain kind of sucks. But
rain or heat. I went when it was like 2 million degrees and was like, this is actually not fun at all.
I want some chill in the air. I want it to feel like fall. I don't want to be there when it's hot.
Okay, Florida, we know.
Yeah, we know. But like, you can't carve pumpkins either in the heat. Like when it cools off, when it's cool, like you can carve your pumpkin. That thing will last a month.
Yes.
But if you get a random day of like 60, 65 degrees, I feel like this is a woman in chat who wrote this. Jeremy shouldn't have forgotten. That's definitely Razzle Dazzle Rose. I have a feeling you're a woman, and you're right.
I'm just saying, if you value your wife having a good time, you would remember the biggest detail.
I know.
Yeah, you got to remember everything and be on top of it. It's always your fault. Also, I just thought of the perfect Halloween costume. I'm going to go as a politician.
I don't want to know what your Halloween costumes are anymore. You're ruining my day.
And then I'm gonna have a ladybug like right here.
Yeah,
that's my Halloween costume. I'm going as the ladybug, but I'm gonna part my hair like Lindsey Graham.
Oh, nice.
And it's gonna be Lindsey Graham in the front, ladybug in the back. So,
then you got to wear a sign that says "Ask me to see my ladybugs." PJ Shader says my best friend gifted me a 2002 Tom DeLonge signature Strat for my wedding. I thought you'd appreciate that. I do. I actually bought that same year. There was the Tom DeLonge Strat, I believe, and then there was the Mark Hoppus bass, which I also bought. I think it was pink, but I didn't care for it, so I sold it. I just didn't like P pickups. I like J pickups. But my new bass has both J and P pickups. So I'm not talking about juicy poops. I'm talking about jazz and precision pickups. So now my new bass has both, or I can blend them, and it's really I really like the tone. So where's Razzle Dazzle? I tell my husband stuff we have planned, and he forgets. Then he gets mad. See, I knew it was a woman. Someone says, "Were you banned from Twitch for what?" They said I said a slur, which I don't know if I did. I honestly don't, because I don't say those words, and Melanie hasn't said it on the show, so I don't really know.
Be pretty careful when it's like cross streaming. Do they release like kind of like a DSM-5 of their slurs? Like, do they update you on what they consider a slur?
No, they don't. They don't. They don't tell you what you said.
Democrat in like the wrong tone of voice, and they'd be like slur. You know.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you can go on Twitch and you can say kill Republicans and let them, what did he say? What did Hassan say? Gut them, let their intestines spill out onto the ground. And he said those exact words and wasn't banned. And he also said to quote unquote kill Rick Scott if you care about healthcare or whatever it was, or Medicare.
What?
He never got banned for that. I said,
is he gonna get banned over his dog thing?
No, they're never gonna ban him.
I
go
feel like the dog
never
one,
go back.
They might have. Sorry, keep going.
Well, I mean, technically, I don't know. I don't think they will, because I mean, it's not against terms of service to use a e-collar. I don't know. But anyway, let's talk about. I know we're like the third show in a row that's talked about Trump stuff, so I wanted to mix it up and talk about Lindsey Graham's ladybugs.
There you go.
But also there are other
hazard pay. This is crazy.
I'll give you Friday off. How about that?
Oh, great.
What do you guys make of the Trump Gaza deal? It seems like, what do you make of there seems to be kind of like three takes on it. One, This is great. Everyone should celebrate it. Two, well, I don't know if, don't trust the Jews. It's not going to last. And then there's going to be it's great, but I'm not going to give Trump any credit. Like, there seems to be...
to crediting Trump is so funny to me. Like
Elizabeth Warren... Oh, wait. Hey, shout out Robert Barnes. Good work exposing Kooky Candace. Okay. Oh, yeah. Over the weekend, she had another hot take that the bullet was removed and then they put fragments in its place. And then she also said unequivocally as fact that UST stood for Utah Standard Time, and then used that to claim that, I don't know if it was Egypt or France or whatever, flew in an assassin. But it turns out UST, when you talk about flight, is actually Universal Standard Time, which is what pilots use. So so she looked ridiculous. But anyway, Robert Barnes has also been at the forefront of saying like, that one was finally, like, she's finally started to go off the rails, and people are like, okay, like, we believe you that the official FBI narrative is bad, but now UTC like, is you saying is Utah, standard time or whatever? It was wild. But anyway, what do you guys make of the reaction to, Trump getting this deal done? Because he very clearly did. This deal happened because of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing how many people are trying to like not congratulate him. Like there were other politicians from other countries being like, well, I mean, we don't know if Trump's plan is going to work, but I guess this is progress, and we do like that the hostages are back. Like they're like they don't want to acknowledge this. Actually, there was a CNN analyst who said Trump is known as a transactional president, and in this case, that was good. And I think that's sort of what most conservatives or people who supported Trump, I think, were expecting when it came to the ongoing Israel-Gaza conflict, was basically that Trump was a stronger negotiator, he's a better deal maker, and that ultimately he was going to get something through, whereas Biden, or God forbid, if Kamala Harris presidency, could not have.
What do you think, Luke?
So, we got to compliment the president when he does good work. Him saying, I want to end the wars, him ending this war, great, good. I'm praying that it holds. I'm kind of stuck in between the position of like, awesome, great, but also a little bit of skepticism. I know Dave Smith and Nick Fuentes also shared their kind of skepticism on it. But I think, first of all, we got to say congratulations. Big, huge, awesome, stop the wars, stop the bombing, stop the bullets flying, amazing, incredible. I think the little bit of skepticism is warranted with just how things have gone on, especially with the previous peace deal. Because if you look at the previous ceasefire, it looked like, and I'm pretty sure this is the case, that it was a part of a PSYOP type of maneuver by Trump and Bibi in order to highlight how they were more at odds with each other than they really were, in order to kind of set up the Iranians for an attack. So, that's why there's a lot of skepticism.
That peace deal fell apart really fast within 6 months.
And it happened under the Biden presidency, but everyone knew Trump behind the scenes was orchestrating, organizing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Biden tried to take credit for it, and then Bibi, and then the Israelis, and everyone's like, Trump played a major role in this. And everyone's like, good, he's not even president, he's ending wars. But then it restarted again.
Tried to use that. Remember, they were like, oh, we need to get, what is that rule that presidents break if they participate in not
the Espionage Act, but they used it against Flynn.
Yes, correct. Yeah,
and they
that
charged
one.
Flynn for this violation, not the Logan Act.
Logan Act, I think.
I think it might be the Logan Act, if I remember correctly.
They were like, Logan Act Trump. People are like, yo, he ended a war. We don't care. Nobody cared.
Charge him now. And I'm like, the dude's ending war. But then he became president, and then that fell.
Hatch. Maybe it was the Hatch Act. No, Logan Act. I think Logan Act's correct.
Yeah, I think it was the Logan Act. So again, I understand the skepticism and criticism as well. But I think we do have to say, great job, right? And then let's pray it holds. And let's pray it's not part of some larger kind of sinister plan and plot to re-engage, because that's what a lot of other people are saying. So we'll see who's going to be right here. The skepticism is warranted, and so is congratulations. I think both are warranted here at this time.
I think it's totally normal. Sorry, Hannah Claire, I'll kick it back to you after this.
No, go for it.
I think it's totally normal. Like, my position is cautiously optimistic, and I think that's a position people should actually have. Trust but verify kind of thing. Like, look, if Bibi does what Bibi does and fires rockets into Gaza this weekend, I'm not going to be surprised. But you can't exactly blame Trump. Now, it's for that reason that I was like, guys, chill on the Nobel Peace Prize thing. Like, we're in phase one. Now, I would argue that even if war kicked off again, you might have an argument for, he got the hostages released. 20 Israeli hostages, but a bigger number that nobody seems to give a shit about is 2,000 Palestinians. So Trump, got 2,020 people freed today. That alone, I think, is good enough for a Nobel Peace Prize, not necessarily the peace deal. But how long do you think this has to last before the holdouts will give Trump any credit? Dave's basically like, Jew's gonna Jew, but I guess, congratulations. I I don't care about that position. I don't think it's that crazy because, they have violated the ceasefire before. I believe that for some, it's coming from a different position where they already don't like Israel. And so they're looking for they will view them in the worst possible light kind of thing. But how long do you think this has to take before people, I asked Dave directly, I said, how long basically until you'll say, okay, this is good? And he gave a fine answer. He said a couple of weeks, which I think is if this goes until we're into November and shit's still moving forward and, stuff like that is done, then I think we can talk about Nobel Peace Prizes and, all this kind of stuff. How long do you think this has to, yes, ideally forever, but how long do you think this will have to go before people are okay?
I would assume it has to go into next year. this is going to sound really bad, but the progress on his peace deal, and let's say let's break it down by milestones. So there's supposed to be a peace summit in Egypt coming up, right? And I've heard mixed reporting on whether or not Benjamin Netanyahu is going to attend.
He's not going, is what he said.
That's what I've heard. Initially, it was he was going to go, and now I've more recently heard that he's not going to. Obviously, there's a lot of reporting that Trump basically pressured Netanyahu. I think that for any resolution to stick, it would have to be done methodically over time.
He's got to go, by the way. Dude, you got to go. Don't be a bitch. Go and because this is why people don't like him.
Right.
He does stuff like this.
It doesn't make him more popular. Obviously, I think to assume this is just done and dusted, we're never going to see any conflict in the Middle East and we're never going to see any kind of tension is a little bit unrealistic. I think that situating any sort of borders or power structures will be a tense process that will last weeks. And from the reporting I saw, there were still kind of conflict going back and forth right up until the hostages were released. It's not like we got rumors of a peace deal and everything.
Well, they were still fighting over the corpses.
Yeah.
There were dead bodies that Israel wanted back.
Right.
And they have not been released. Yeah.
So there is a lot of negotiating left to be done. I think you should celebrate victories in life, and I think the return of the hostages is good. I think this is, again, like I said, more progress than you could have expected from a Democrat president or from Biden, but it's not over by any means. It's sort of entering the new phase. To me, I think the question becomes, it's November, right? Or it's October. We're almost right at the tail end of Trump's first year in his second term in office. So of this year, what are we going to remember about his first year? And I think he released the hostages will always be a key bullet point. No one can take that away from him. I don't know that it guarantees a perfect resolution in the Middle East. It's still an accomplishment.
Is this what they call a two-state solution, or is this not that? I don't know.
It's a little bit complicated because there's going to be other kind of Arab states involved here, and there's going to be some new form of proxy political leadership that involves other foreign nations as well.
Okay.
So we're going to see how all of this kind of transforms. And we're going to see if another conflict also arises with Iran as well, because there's a lot of significant military posturing and movements there. For me, there's a lot of questions about Bibi. Donald Trump called for his pardon.
He needs to go. He needs to go.
So I don't think it's a good look for Trump calling for Bibi's pardon. I don't think it's also a good look, praising Miriam Andelson and being like, oh, look, she donated everything, and kind of hinting at how she's calling some of the shots here. So, she is Trump's biggest donor, but him kind of being like, oh, yeah, look, we moved to the embassy to Jerusalem.
Well, they did that. Didn't they do it in his first term? Or no?
Yes. Yeah. That was his first term. That was a major kind of shift in movement. But again, we'll see how all of this unfolds. I pray for peace. A good move. It's good to see Donald Trump saying, "I end wars. I want no more wars." It's great seeing that. We need more of that, and we need it met with action. The fact that there was a disinformation campaign last year surrounding that breeds skepticism, and that's what I'm worried about.
He's ended 8 wars in 8 months. What do you think? So I kind of had this thought this morning. Go ahead, Luke.
I know of India and I know of Azerbaijan, those being two.
The Congo, then there was one between Armenia and
Azerbaijan.
Yeah. India, Pakistan, he stopped.
Yeah. That's the two I mentioned.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I don't know about how he got to 8, but that's what he said. But I can think of at least 5. What do you think? Here's what I'm willing to say. Now, obviously, if he does anything crazy, that it will nullify this statement. But like, if he ends the Ukraine-Russia war in any point in his presidency now, I mean, greatest president of our lifetime. Like, and it's not even close. Like, I wonder how the history books will actually remember him, because we know that, like, Epstein's father-in-law owned all the science journals and all this. So who knows if history books are ever actually interested in history? But like, this guy will go down as arguably. I mean, again, historians obviously correct me if I'm wrong, but Cambodia and Thailand was another one. Yes.
I have a list pulled up right here. Serbia, Kosovo, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Egypt versus Ethiopia, Cambodia, Thailand, Democratic Republic of Congo versus Rwanda, India, Pakistan, and Israel, Iran.
Okay. So
I think some people debate whether those wars are ended.
Yeah. Like India, Pakistan, I don't think ever really kicked off. Like, they started and then he got it squashed pretty quick. The Congo one was real, though.
They were fighting pretty seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, they were. Yeah, they were. They were like, yeah, that was going. The Congo one was real. That one was, they were fighting for a very long time. I mean,
he got nominated for a Peace Prize, Nobel Peace Prize for the Congo, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So
is there another president that has ended more conflicts? I don't think so. In the entire history of the world, I don't think there's a president that has ended more conflicts. How, like, and I mean, like, all he has to do is end the Ukraine-Russia war, and like, he is solid. Well,
I mean, knock that off his list. Get that done.
I mean, don't you think he will? I think he will.
I think he's more likely to than Biden was. I can't sound like broken record here. And I think he's probably more likely to than Zelensky is.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, if he ends the Ukraine-Russia conflict in his presidency, it sort of becomes more and more undeniable that he is a peacetime president, even if you don't like lots of other things. And I think that, again, is one of the reasons that people are like, but he's mass deporting people from America. Don't forget why.
Wait, I already like him so much. I already said he's one of the greatest.
I drove past an anti-ICE protest this weekend. It was like very small because I live in a rural area, and I just wanted to be like, you're all losers.
Yeah.
Stop. But I'm trying to draw attention to myself.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think this is one of the interesting things about Trump, which is that I think that he really did want to commit to stopping war. I mean, I'll never forget the CNN town hall when the host tried to push him on who should win the Russia-Ukraine conflict. And he was like, I just want the fighting to stop. I want the dying to stop.
He doesn't care. Yeah, he really doesn't care, I don't think.
No.
I think he just doesn't like war.
Right. And like, war interrupts all kinds of things that he wants to accomplish, right? Like, he is here to make the U.S. a strong country diplomatically and economically, and wars are a variable that are not helpful to that, depending on how you play it. So I think that he is genuinely interested in ending conflict. In some ways, I think that makes it harder to negotiate. Like, now, if you're Zelensky, I feel like Trump wants to end this conflict, so you hold out for whatever he thinks he's going to get out of this. And
well, he's going to get a bullet in the head is what's going to happen. I mean, if I'm just talking about historically, his people, Ukrainian people, don't want this war to continue, and whether it's some CIA coup. Or, I mean, if he doesn't end this war, I will bet. I don't know if there's a poly market bet, but like, if he continues to carry on this war, like, his own people are going to turn against him. Like,
I think so.
He's out of soldiers. He's conscripting people off of the street.
And they're not allowed to have elections, right?
He's suspended elections. Yeah. I mean, I guess, like, I think, it sounds, I did get a spicy-eyed HCB reply to that, but I'm just being like,
No, I get what you're saying.
This is what
the internet's
happens
so sensitive.
when you have I mean, he can't hold out. He's out of bodies. And like Trump, he wants to end. This is the last major conflict. He could just end this and literally, in my opinion, do jack shit for the next 3 years other than post memes on Twitter. And he would be the best president of my lifetime. Like
Okay. I think those would be great things to have in his legacy, but I would like to return to the America First thesis and be like, actually, he cannot do nothing. Like, he owes a lot to the people here.
Yes,
I know you're like making a dramatic point.
It's hyperbolic, yeah.
It's a great thing, and I'm glad that he is flexing his ability to negotiate with, allies and foes alike. But again, ultimately, my goal is to, improve America for Americans. So I would be happy to end the conflict so we can stop talking about them and focus on our own country again.
I guess if I added on, secured the border and deported 10 million more, I think then I'd
be more with you.
Yeah, like he already has secured the border though. Like border crossings have stopped. And if he deports if we're like a negative 5 million, like which I think is a very reasonable number, negative 5 million by 2028, and let's say JD gets in office and keeps it up, we could be negative 15 million by the end of 2032, which would be bonkers.
Yeah.
That's 15 million people, many of which the United States government are offering free healthcare to, free housing to, taxpayer-funded insurance to, taxpayer-funded housing
because
to.
The American people are paying for it.
Taxpayer-funded food, taxpayer-funded, all this cell phones. Like, even if, like, obviously, I think most people would say, like, just end it altogether. But if Trump just shifted that to the 15 million Americans who currently cannot afford health care, it would be one of the single greatest things that he could do for the American people.
Yeah.
Like, expand, I don't know if we call it Badger Care in our state, but like, people who can't afford insurance can get like, this, like, at least some medical care to where like they, it's all ultimately taxpayer funded anyway, because they can't pay their bills. And if they go to the hospital, they just don't pay it and then whatever. But like, I just mean like, yes, I would prefer to not pay for it at all. But if I'm paying for it, I'd like it at least to go to, war veterans who can't afford health insurance, or, Americans.
Or American children who like, that's an investment in their long-term health, I would assume,
Yeah. Like, if he could just redirect, I would prefer he ends. Why is it Badger Care? Well, because we're the badger, it's our state animal. Mm-hmm. So that's why they call it that. If they deported 10K
I think Connecticut's
a day,
was like Husky Care. I could be wrong on that, because like the University of Connecticut is the Husky. They're the Huskies.
Yeah, someone said if they deported 10,000 a day until the end of his presidency, there would still be 30 million illegals after. I know, but I don't think that's the right attitude, because like, yes, there's 30 million left, but get JD in office for 8 years and then there'll be 20 million left. And then you get somebody else. Like, we can't have this all or nothing attitude that I see all the time. Like, well, he's deporting, I think he's deported over 1 million so far, I think. Like, but it's not enough. It's like, yeah, but bro, he's deported 1 million and he stopped him from coming in. Like, we got to take the win sometimes.
Right. No one said it was not. It reminds me of like, I don't know if either of you like ran track or anything, but when you watch a relay, like you have the first like, I don't know, maybe you were a runner. I don't want to be discriminated.
I'm built for shot put.
That's a reasonable sport. But like, if you have the first leg of a relay running and they get, a very small lead, and the next person turns it into a bigger lead, and the next person turns it into the bigger lead, and then, whatever, you win, that's important, right? But if the first person gets a lead and then the second person doesn't do anything and the third person walks, then you are going backwards. And I think the progress is important. It's not to say like, okay, so we fixed illegal immigration, like by no means. I mean, in fact, I am like, let's close all the legal loopholes. But, something is better than nothing, and it is the forward momentum that I'm looking for.
Someone in chat wrote, perfect is the enemy of good. And I think that's very true. Like, yeah, 30 million is a lot, but 20 million of them are in California. We'll have a very, very, very hard time getting them out of there. Mm-hmm. If you told me you could get rid of the 8 million in the Midwest, and Texas and stuff, like, okay, what an incredible victory, especially when you've stopped another 20 million from coming in, like Kamala would have let in for her 4 years.
Sure.
Luke, did you see the part where one of the released hostages was talking about how he would talk politics with Hamas, and they were shitting their pants when Trump won? They wanted Kamala to win, and then when Trump won, they conceded the fact that they were going to lose the war. Like, they just knew that Trump was going to...
a gloves off type of approach
Yeah.
towards these situations, and I think he's proven that with ISIS. That was
But
kind
didn't he
of the
bunker bust
protected-
their leaders too? Like, he was just like, we'll just blow
No,
up
he
their...
bunker busted a CIA bunker built by the CIA in the 1980s in Afghanistan with the mother of all kind of bombs
the Moab.
that really bombed
Yeah.
nothing. It was just kind of like, hey, look what I could do, kind of situation and deal. So I think a lot of the situations unfolding right now hinder around the economy, because like that's the biggest kind of determining factor.
Luke, can I ask you this? So people keep saying the economy is bad. What are they referring to? Because gas by me is $2.40 a gallon, but steaks are still very expensive. Interest rates are still garbage. Yeah, the stock market's high, but that doesn't mean shit. That just means 1% of the population is making a bunch of money.
Exactly.
Where do you think he has to fix the economy? Because it is still pretty hard out there for a pimp. Like, shit's expensive.
So spending more money than we actually have, I think that's a big issue. I think there's still a huge amount of waste. I think the Federal Reserve printing money is devaluing it.
Whatever happened to that survey, of Fort Knox? Whatever happened to that?
Yeah. That's a good question. That's a
Yeah.
good question to ask there, because there's a reason gold prices are going through the roof, right? And it's not because the dollar is doing well. So obviously we're spending more money than we actually have. We're becoming more indebted. He's talking about doing another $2,000 check to Americans based on the tariffs dividend. There's insider trading where people are getting information about what he's going to do.
Did you see that Bitcoin guy?
Yeah,
they're gonna find out who that is.
They should, and they need to hold him accountable. But I think there's a chance that they won't.
Well, somebody, for those of you that don't know, someone made an incredible bet in the crypto market and made $188 million. Brand new account, like an hour before Trump released
30 minutes, and it was 88 million. But
88 million, yeah.
So open up a huge short on Bitcoin 30 minutes before the markets knew that they were going to kind of collapse here. That type of insider trading, I mean, our system is run on a Ponzi scheme where the richest people come in and they take everything for themselves and they leave us with like breadcrumbs. He needs to fix that, because I think a lot of people are going to become more radicalized the worse the economy does. And every time politically there are economic turmoils, people go to the extreme of political discourse, and they usually go left. Typically, not always. One big time in Germany, they went to the right. Overwhelmingly, they go to the left, and that fuels political kind of radicalization. So I think that's going to be the biggest kind of worry, in my opinion, because the people who are scamming and running these Ponzi schemes need to be held accountable immediately, because that's going to be the biggest determining factor in the midterms and in the next election cycle. How's the economy doing? There's a reason why
matter in the midterms. Yeah, that's true.
There's a reason why Al Gore was so close to winning the presidency in 2000, and that was because of, let's be honest, Bill Clinton balanced the budget. No one else has balanced the budget.
First guy to do that. Yeah, first guy to do that in I don't know ever, but definitely in a very, very long time.
Bill Clinton was more of a fiscal conservative than Trump is, right?
Yeah, but Bill Clinton
and that guy goes
also
to Epstein Island.
Well, let's just say this: Bill Clinton also created the housing crisis and created and was responsible for the .com bubble. He also oversaw the .com bubble first. So
I worry that they're
greatest
going to
loss.
crash the economy.
Yeah,
and I think we're very close to that, and I think that should be priority number one. Enough of spending billions of dollars overseas for Ukraine or for Israel. We got to take care of the issues at home here, and there's going to be a big financial issue at the forefront of it all.
Someone was asking me, they've got a pretty deep position in silver, and they're older, and they're like, "What should I do?" And I was like, they're like 80. I'm like, dude, silver's at a historic high. Fucking sell. Like, what are you gonna do? Wait for it. A lot of people lose their money when they try to turn 10,000 into 100,000. We see it happen all the time with like game shows who are like where they're like what was that one where they had the briefcases, Deal or No Deal? Like they're like,
where Duchess of Sussex got her start.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's like, oh yeah, she was a briefcase lady. They like, but there's a reason silver's this high.
Yeah.
Like,
gold.
I mean, and gold. Like, I don't think gold's going to go to 10,000. It's at gold's at what, 4,100, and silver as a percentage has gone up even more than gold. And he's like, I've got like, you know, a couple $1,000,000 in silver. I'm like, fucking let it rip, dude. Like, it's not going to go up forever, and you're already 80. Now, if you had that much silver and you were 20, I'd be like, maybe sell a chunk of it and diversify into some other stuff. Like, but what do you make of the precious metals market? I mean, it's pretty predictive. Like Bitcoin, gold, and silver are bet against the United States economy, and they've been at record highs. Now, the reason the Bitcoin market crashed is not because of anything, because it was because of the China tariff, which I think it already bounced back. At least the regular stock market already bounced back. Like, it's definitely something to keep an eye on.
Oh, yeah.
Hannah Claire, what do you think? I think Luke's right. Like, by the time the midterms come around, by the way, everyone's going to forget. By the time the midterms come around, everyone's going to forget about the Israel, peace deal. It's going to be the economy, especially if we're not at war. Like, if Trump ends the Ukraine war too by then, it's going to be like, okay, well, can a brother not pay $47 for a ribeye now? Like, can I not have to work? Well, I don't know what the average hourly wage is in America. Let's say it's $15 an hour. Like, can I not work 4 hours to get a steak? Like that's, I
think one of the issues is that this deal, or at least getting the hostages back, maybe longer term stability in the region, is a feather in Trump's cap. But if you're a Trump acolyte, if you're MAGA adjacent and you're up for re-election in the midterms, it is actually harder for you to like incorporate that into the appeal you're making to local American voters. That's my prediction.
Great point.
Like, you could be like, see, I support Trump and he did a great thing. But if you are running, for the house out of Wyoming, I don't know why the Wyoming farmer would be like,
shit. Yeah.
Cool, let's talk about what's going on with the cattle industry. You know what I'm saying? Like, they might not mind the issue, and maybe in some way that I'm not aware of, it could be connected. But for the most part, it doesn't have anything to do with American midterms. Largely, the economy does.
Here's a clip I just wanted to play because it is kind of historic. This guy, by the way, what a goofball. He looks like he's got like, I don't know, he just looks weird. Like the mustache and the round head. I don't know. Sorry, guy. You just look kind of like Mr. Bean or something.
Down to the Sharpie. That's what does it for me.
He loves his Sharpie. Yeah. And that what's great about this, like, I'll just let it play. This is obviously all ceremonial. I don't know what Trump's actually signing here, but
this took 3,000 years to get to this point. Can you believe it? And it's going to hold up, too. It's going to hold up.
Well, with Israel, with Israel fatigue at an all-time high, like, I can poke my fun at Candace because I think she's crossed over from Israel fatigue to Israel derangement. People would be foolish to ignore that, like, the American right, in particular the youth, is really sick of Israel. And there's even some talk about maybe that being why some Israeli interests were involved in buying TikTok, because TikTok is in the,
where the kids hang out.
It's where the kids hang out, but it's also where all the big, like, pro-Palestine, Israel bad people are. X and Israel. Bibi Netanyahu himself talked about it.
Okay, thank you.
Did I just hear a cat?
That's my cat. Sorry, it's my producer.
Yeah. No need to apologize. It's like,
have a pen? Want to use mine? Okay.
I would love to get a Trump Sharpie. He's been like passing those out, every time he signs something. He's like, oh, do you like? That would be
Remember
so
during his
boss.
first like 24, 48 hours in office when he was signing like 100 orders?
Yeah.
And he just like every single one had a new Sharpie.
Yeah, and he had a whole like cigar box full of them. I'm like, this is so fucking cool. Like, I would love.
Also because mainstream media kind of made fun of him for the Sharpie at first because they were like, well, the other presidents prefer a fancy ballpoint pen or whatever. And like, it's so everyman to be like, I'm using a Sharpie. It's big. It's bold. I want you to like Johnny Hancock, right? Like, see my signature on this.
Yeah. Now, is this the president of Israel? This guy? I don't know who he is. It's not Netanyahu.
No, I don't think Bibi was there. I think Bibi
Yellow
no
letters
show.
are quite a thing.
Yeah. I don't know who this guy is, chat. It would be even more baller if he took a huge rip off it, dude. And then signed his name?
No,
that's a bad example for American children everywhere.
This is some Towley guy. Palestine person, probably. An official Trump Sharpie costs $1,500 on eBay. I'm dead serious. If there is a Sharpie and there's provenance, I would buy it. Like, I'm
How do you
dead
know someone's
fucking
not
serious.
faking it? It sounds like something that
There would have to
very
be
scammy.
the bona fides would have to be, it would have to be,
You got to
I don't
verify
even
these
Sharpies
things.
here. I was at Mar-a-Lago,
Yeah.
Jeremy. I'll
It'd
give you a
have to-
deal for $1,000.
No, it'd have to be, this is the Sharpie that was used for this, and that would have to be like
You have to have like a
verified.
chain of custody record.
Yeah. But if it was $1,500, I would buy it. I'd have a hard time believing it would even be that cheap. I think it would be many thousands.
Well, he's starting to like drive down the price because he's signing so many things,
Yeah, that's true. Fine.
It might be more expensive depending on what it signed. It was used to sign.
I don't care if it was just used to sign like the least known executive order. I don't care. Like just a Trump Sharpie, put it in a cool, like a case back on the set. I think it would be cool. It'd be a cool piece. Now, I don't know how he's going to make this stick, but I want to give a quick shout out to Morgan & Morgan before we get into the next topic, because they're a great sponsor of the channel, of the live show. So check this out. Vaccinated or injured in any way, you should know how to protect your rights. That's why I'm so glad to have this video sponsor Morgan & Morgan. When you're seriously hurt, your injury could be worth millions of dollars. Morgan & Morgan doesn't settle for lowball offers. Just in the past couple of months, Morgan & Morgan saw verdicts of $12 million in Florida, 34 times the highest insurance offer, $26 million in Philadelphia, 40 times the highest insurance offer, and $6.8 million in New York, 25 times the highest insurance offer. Their fee is absolutely free unless you win. Fighting big companies takes a big law firm. As America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan are ready to take on insurance companies of all sizes. Morgan & Morgan has modernized the injury law process so you can submit a claim and communicate with your legal team all from your smartphone. And remember, size matters. Morgan & Morgan is big. They're America's largest injury law firm. That means they have the resources to fight to get you the best results, and they're capable of spending millions on a case to see it through. Did you know you can start a claim with America's largest injury law firm in just one click? It's so easy. You can start your claim now with Morgan & Morgan at www.forthepeople.com/quartering or click the link in the description down below. Oh, I didn't screw up all the ads today. Why don't you guys let the people know where they can find your stuff? Well, why don't we start with Luke, by the way? I appreciate everyone tuning in. We're not done yet, but I like to give my co-hosts a chance to let people know where they're at.
Well, I appreciate that. I got a supplement store on wearechange.shop. I'll post it in the link. I think we have the cleanest, best creatine on the market, really good stuff, and a bunch of other really great supplements that are there for your personal health and well-being. Do your own research, but I really like getting into the weeds of health stuff, and supplements sometimes help with whatever you guys are into. So that's one clear, easy way to support me and support yourselves. So wearechange.shop. Thanks.
You guys can find my work on Rumble and YouTube. It's at Hannah Claire B in both places. I promised a video with a special guest, but I'm a very slow editor. So it'll be up tomorrow morning. I think you'll like it a lot, or maybe you'll hate it. I really couldn't say, but check that
Who
out.
is it?
It's Hannah. You'll have to watch and find out. It's a mystery guest. It's a Taylor Swift adjacent video. Let me say that.
It better not be a potato man. If it's a potato man,
totally never interact with that.
By the way,
person.
Luke, you missed the opportunity. I paid $1,000 for each person to have their own character in his cartoon the day you weren't here. So Hannah Claire and Melanie Mack will be in Luke's new cartoon.
Luke's new cartoon.
I'm sorry.
No,
Freedom Tunes. New Freedom Tunes. New cartoon. So
that'll
teach you.
I really feel like I missed out on that one.
I don't know. I kind of want to know what I look like as a Freedom Tunes character. I have to say.
The same way you look now.
That's funny.
yeah, she does look funny. I wanted to get your guys' take. There's a couple super chats. Super Jones Bro says, "Thanks for the coverage, Mr. Hambley. Trump might be a king in name only, but he's a genius. Trump is a celestial anti-Semite in noble occasions." Zigzag says, "He brought peace to the Middle East, makes the Dems look like petulant toddlers." Let me get your take on that, actually. Do you think we've seen how people like Fetterlump has kind of distanced himself from kind of the radical left and tried to be a little bit more up the middle? In fact, now Fetterman has been pretty pro-Israel, even as a Democrat, to be fair. I don't know if isn't his wife like, she's like pro-Palestine, I think. I think that was like a big thing where they were secretly getting divorced or fighting over it or something like that. But like, he has been unapologetically given Trump his flowers over this. While you have people like, if you look at Elizabeth Warren's tweet, she got like ruthlessly ratioed, like 5,000-6,000 replies to a few hundred likes because she just wouldn't say anything about Trump. Do you think that this will negatively impact the Democrats for the midterms? Like, wait, here's a tweet: 10,000 likes compared to 10,000 comments compared to 1,000 likes. Like, absolutely getting crushed. Do you think that there's a trickle down where Trump might finally be breaking through to regular people? Like, I don't care how CNN spins this. If they're covering the Trump Gaza deal, they have to say Trump did it. Like, there's just no other way around it. Do you think that we're going to see Democrats coming more back to the center now?
This is sort of the theory of the midterms right now, which is that the Democratic Party is struggling with its identity. And that's not just me being like, I'm a conservative, haha, you guys. That's what pundits who are typically left-leaning are saying about themselves. And so you have people who are doubling down on progressive identity politics, who want to talk more about certain things. And then you do have a faction of Democrats that are trying to lean more moderate, or at least lean less into that stuff. Again, it's one of the reasons that you might hear a lot of Democrats that are campaigning for the midterms in states that are red or at least purple talk more about the economy than women or trans women in sports. You know,
I think that's smart. By the way,
they're trying to get back on track, and I actually don't blame them for it. We could see the tides turning when, Kristen Sinema and different Democrats decided they were going to run as independents. It makes a difference in the long term. If the party's label is bad, you don't want to lose voters over it.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think, Luke?
Yeah, I think what happened after Charlie really did change a lot of the political landscape.
Yeah.
So I think there is a portion of the left who's kind of looking at themselves and be like, holy cow, like, these people are crazy. These people are wild. They lost it. I don't want to be on their side. And I think they're moving more and more towards the right. The ones on the left are being more and more radicalized, the crazy ones. And I think the divide is pretty significant now. more than it ever has been within recent kind of political coverage. So I do think that point is an important one that I do think is happening.
Now, we did see a couple of squad members lose their spots in the last election. Hannah Claire, do you think we could see? I think AOC is never going to get voted out. I just think, unless she puts on 45 pounds and like becomes a little more out of touch with the kind of Zoomers, I don't see her. But there's definitely a lot of other, Rashida Tlaib. No, she got out. She lost, right? She goes up.
I think Ilhan Omar is always the question.
She's really close. She can only import so many Somalis to vote for her.
Right.
Like, do you think that we're going to see more of the squad fall? And will it be to more moderate Democrats?
I would think you'll see more of them fall, probably for a lot of reasons. I actually think AOC is increasingly out of touch. I mean, she ran as like, I'm young.
She has been.
And now she's an establishment Democrat. Although I think you're right. I always, and like, this is just my own gut instinct. No one has to take my word for it. But I've always felt that she's going to kind of Nancy Pelosi this situation, or a Dianne Feinstein, whoever works, just like be there forever, but not ascend to another tier of government. She'll just
or ever accomplish anything, just enrich herself.
Right. She'll just be there and we'll get quotes from her forever. But that's kind of it. Like, I think in some ways her career has peaked. Maybe she'll get a party leadership position. As for the other people, I mean, like Jamal Bowman pulled his fire alarm, but he was always considered sort of squad adjacent. He wasn't like the girl squad, but a friend of the squad, an ally of the squad. And then he had that terrible moment. He got caught lying about it. He was caught getting basically an easy way out. And then basically Democrats injected their own influence in his race and he was gone. So I think there is a chance that there's a changing of the guards, even with the sort of people who had been tapped to be the young face of the party. But again, like, what does that mean overall? I don't know that Democrats are going to have established a clear way forward before the midterms. I think the midterms is basically their testing ground. Yeah,
they're going to have to go all economy or lose, because I think a lot of and Trump still has time to help with the economy. Like, the midterms are still a year away.
Yeah.
And he can, I mean, if he can get this Ukraine-Russia thing done, the money we're pissing away for that, he could do a lot to help the economy. Now, I know Luke is a hater of the $2,000 checks, but they do buy votes. And
it didn't work last time.
Didn't it? I'm pretty sure that there were
Trump
loads
gave out checks during the Koof years, and then he lost the election right afterwards, and the economy was trash.
The Koof, true. But I think the Koof was just too big of a thing to overcome. Plus, 80 million votes. That was also I mean, if you think about it, Trump had more votes than probably anyone will ever get in our lifetime. Second to
Joe Biden did.
Yeah. No, I'm saying even Trump.
Yeah.
Trump had 75 million or something like that. Or he had a second all-time total votes.
Yep.
Can I ask you a question, Jeremy?
Yeah.
If the Democrats have to run on the economy, do you think that Zoran Mamdani's campaign as like New York's new favorite socialist counts as an economic run, or is it all identity politics, et cetera, for him?
Well,
because you can't run on the economy like in this progressive woke way, I would argue.
Yeah, he's all identity politics because he's not even talking about the economy. But he's also only winning because of default. Like, New York had nobody to run against him. Cuomo's a piece of shit. Eric Adams was disgraced. So, like, he's running essentially unopposed. Who's going to beat him? Do you think most people in New York could even tell who's running against him? Could say their name? I couldn't.
I think they could name them, but they know it's not going to work.
Yeah, I mean, there's just... Speaking of Mamdani, here's this phone call from a Democrat this morning from New York talking about the Trump peace deal.
Democrat, good morning. What'd you think of the speech?
Yes, hi. That was I'm going to get choked up.
I'm going to guess a New York Jew. Democrat Jew.
The speech. And I'm a conservative Democrat living here in New York, where this example of bringing peace to everyone should be thought of in New York City, where out of ignorance, the people are about to elect a guy who's pro-terrorist, pro-Hamas, who's friends with his people in Uganda, a country that lawfully executes people for being gay. And this should be a wake-up call to everyone. That
All true, by the way.
Can live together. I go back. I worked as a young man for Humphrey and for McGovern, and became more conservative as I've gotten older. But
people are acting like conservative Democrats don't exist. They 100% do.
Yeah.
Like, what they say conservative Democrat, it's just really like a union Democrat. Like, my dad was not into woke shit, but he voted blue his whole life.
Yeah.
My dad was not into government handouts, but he still
I always
voted
serve
Democrat.
up West Virginia as the example. West Virginia has a historically Democratic state, but the Democratic Party changed.
Yes, right. Yeah,
And now it went 100% for Trump. That's the end of that anecdote.
Yeah, like, my dad hated Trump, and like, but he was not woke, and he was not like, you know, he was a union guy. Union guys vote Democrat. Those guys aren't woke. You know, so it's like there are tens of millions of Democrats who are not woke.
This was like the best. You know, he does it in his own style. We actually live pretty close to where he grew up. And, you know, New Yorkers like Bernie Sanders are sort of different. They're funny. They're abrasive sometimes. But it should be a lesson to all of us that we can all live together. I think the future, if the Gazans really accept.
Yeah, call my dad a stupid piece of shit. He's dead, you know. I think that's a great reaction to me sharing an honest fact about my dad. Some people need to be like, it's a little log off, you know, being less politics brained. My dad just didn't like Trump. He was not a never Trumper. He just voted Democrat. And if you think there aren't millions like him, you know, I don't know what else to tell you. Like, other than, you know, saying something stupid like that on the internet. Conservative, concentrated juice. You know, I guess you got my attention. Cool.
The goodness and the money that's going to come from the Arab community and from the world community, it can be a different world. And I'm sorry for being so emotional, but it's a great moment in history for everyone. And we have.
So anyway, like, yeah, so I just banned that fuckwit. I love that. Your dad was a stupid piece of shit. And then when I'm like, oh, I see, I disagree with your statement. Triggered. You called my dead dad a piece of shit. I wouldn't exactly call that being triggered. I think that would be, you know, and this is why, like, most people don't read the chat and that you have to super chat to get people's attention. So enjoy being banned. Good for you, bud. Anyway, what do you, I mean, I don't know if this guy's Jewish or not, but he's very clearly emotionally involved in this, which I would think the only people emotionally invested in this would be Palestinians or Jews or people whose livelihood depends on this war, you know, ending or continuing.
Sure.
But like, this aired on C-SPAN, you know, like, I think that these like mainstream media networks, they can't like not. If you open up like any news website, it's every story, every single one. It's not even like, I was looking for stories to cover today. I'm like, because I don't do hard politics on like the Quartering very often, but it's like, there's literally nothing. This is the biggest story in the world.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that hopefully where I'm leading with this, like when Todd brought up my dad, it's like, there are a lot of Democrats like him and like my dad who would see this and maybe change their mind. You know,
isn't this
maybe
what we wanted a couple of weeks ago? Like when all the Democrats were saying, let's tone down the rhetoric. Like, wouldn't acknowledging a Republican president's win, especially if you don't like him or you object to his character in some way, wouldn't that be part of toning down the rhetoric? That's what I would think, at least.
Well, Bill Clinton also just released a statement actually giving Trump credit for the Gaza ceasefire. I just put it in the private chat.
Okay.
But it is highlighting how
his dumb cunt wife didn't, though.
Well, a lot of people call them blue dog kind of Democrats.
Yeah.
Because they, and Obama had that a little bit too, because Obama deported a bunch of people. Bill Clinton was a very hard line on immigration as well. And people would just forget how far left
that wasn't even that long. Bro, that's such a great point. That it wasn't that long ago when like everybody right now would be voting for Bill Clinton. Like,
if Bill Clinton was in the 90s saying what he was saying in the 90s, which now is seen as extreme right and inflammatory. So we're moving very fast to the left, and very few things are moving to the right. And this is what I think the conversation should be about a lot of the times. But here's the statement.
Yeah, the important the second paragraph, he says, I'm grateful. This is why, like, for people that don't get how big of a deal this is, every president living, alive is making comments on this. Like, this is a big fucking deal. It's bigger than just the last 2 years since October 7th. That's why, like, for me, I'm still like, trust but verify. Give me a month of like, before I can exhale a little bit and be like, okay. But like, Barack Obama couldn't get it done. Joe Biden couldn't get it done. And you could argue, over the last 3,000 years, nobody's got it done. Now, I won't say it's been done. Okay. Like, we can only, history will, we'll have to look back in 100 years and see if Trump really got that part of it done. But I'm grateful that the ceasefire has taken hold, that the last 20 living hostages has been freed, and that desperately needed aid has now begun to flow into Gaza. President Trump and his administration, Qatar, and other regional actors deserve great credit for keeping everyone engaged until the agreement was reached. Now, Israel and Hamas, with the support of the United States, the region, and the world, must try to turn this fragile moment into a lasting peace. Like, he just outright said, fucking hey, like, great job, Trump. And even Qatar, too, which a lot of people are like, well, like, we have this tenuous relationship. Not a lot of people like their army base going here. Or was it Qatar or was it
Qatar? Yeah.
Qatar, yeah. Qatar. I hear it pronounced both ways. I always say Qatar, but then I hear people say Qatar, so I'm not really sure.
I have no idea, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't either. But like, if Bill Clinton is coming out and saying like, damn, player, like, I mean, has Kamala made a statement? Probably not, but she should. I had this too. I wondered what you thought about this. Speaking of Kamala, I think this is the clip. No, I don't.
I feel like Kamala would make a statement like, I'm glad the hostages are back, and just try to avoid acknowledging Trump in any way. Like, her team is probably trying to walk such a crazy line right now.
Well, this is the reason I was going to bring that up is because Mark, what's his name? Mark, not Mark Henry, but they're basically, the Democrats are going to run her again. Here's Mark Kelly this morning on Kamala Harris running, which, by the way, fucking thank you. Yes, run her again. This would be incredible. Her versus JD Vance. Yes, please. Absolute cinema.
Do you think that Kamala Harris would be a strong candidate in 2028?
Candidate? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, he did qualify it. He said, candidate?
A little nervous. He doesn't want Newsom to write him off yet,
Yeah. JJ from Iowa says, just getting the hostages on both sides released is a massive accomplishment, regardless of what the outcomes of the war is. Yeah, I agree with that, too. I mean, ultimately, you can't control. I mean, Hamas is still a terrorist group and still in charge of Palestine for the most part. Right now, Hamas is executing people in the streets. Like, nobody's covering that, but that's what they're doing. They're executing people who they deem were sympathetic to Israel. So, like, I mean, I guess we'll deal with that another day.
It's just not over, right? Like,
yeah.
Well, there's a lot of warring tribes and factions too.
Did you see Mr. FAFO got killed too?
Who was that?
He was a world famous he was like this guy.
The journalist?
Yeah, the journalist.
Oh, sorry.
Who was, Mr. FAFO posted this video calling it the happiest day of his life when October 7th happened. Now he's dead.
When did he die? Didn't he die
Sunday.
a long time ago?
No,
Yeah,
he died. Yeah, he died this weekend.
How did he die?
Pakistanis killed him. Now, this is other Palestinians. Sorry. Hollywood superstar Mr. FAFO has been killed by other Palestinians for being a Hamas propagandist. You know, some of his greatest hits. I'm not sure, like, I don't know, like,
I don't know. I just don't like celebrating death personally.
This is the guy that was in all those propaganda videos. He was a resilient patient. He was a revived corpse. He was also a war correspondent. He was a tour guide. He was a radiology tech. He was literally a propagandist for Hamas. And everybody on the left would share videos of him all the time. But yeah, I'm not celebrating his death. I'm just saying, you know, you're going to have to, you know, he came, he FA'd, or he came, he FA'd, he FO'd. Now he's dead. We'll see. Maybe he's not really dead, but I think they're having his funeral. There's going to be, anytime you have like a peace deal, there's going to end up being, usually a bit of brutality that will happen on both sides, and it's part of a cleanup. Like the regime is reinstalled into power, and then there's a little bit of, you know, there are a lot of Palestinians still praising Hamas. Like they, you know, so that's why I'm kind of like, could Hamas ever be like the Taliban, where at least they, you know, I don't agree with their ideology and how they run a country, but like, they're not invading other countries. They're kind of keeping to themselves. They're kind of, I don't know. I mean, hopefully that's the goal for them. At least, I don't know. That feels weird to say, but like, I don't see.
I mean, that's why I think why everyone is
the
saying
Taliban
like,
doing anything.
We're not sure. I think that's why we're all not sure what peace in the Middle East looks like, right? Because I don't know that either side is going to forgive and forget, and I don't know that either side is happy with a two-state solution or something like that. Like there is always, it's difficult to just be like, okay, guys, now your tensions are over and you're not allowed to reference it ever again. Like,
yeah, and when you've been fighting them for hundreds of years, like there's still going to there's going to be some extreme faction of Hamas that doesn't want to honor this ceasefire. Like there's going to be.
I think there's probably extremists on both sides that don't want to honor.
Right, and there's going to be people in Israel that don't either. So how this shakes out, I think, is going to be tough. I did want to shout out. We have a National Day of Remembrance on Charlie Kirk's birthday. I think that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think
unanimously passed by the Senate too, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, unanimous. So I mean, we could have given him like, we honor Harvey Milk, who was, you know, a pedophile. So I think we can honor Charlie Kirk. I feel like a lot of stuff is, you know, ceremonial and stuff like that, but like, this is pretty cool. Like,
I like ceremony. I'm going to be honest with you.
I know you do. Yeah.
Well, this is the thing. I think ceremony and tradition are part of culture, and I want to have a rich and vibrant culture. It makes me so mad when people are like, you know, Americans don't have a culture, Americans don't have any history, or they don't have whatever. Like, yes, we do.
What about gun culture? Pretty sure we have gun culture. I keep getting told about that.
Well, look, that's uniquely American. And I think that should be part of like the tradition of bearing arms is something that is experienced differently in America. I think that like this is one of the things we do. And I don't think we should be like, it's not going to bring Charlie Kirk back. It's not going to, you know, necessarily alleviate his family's grief, but it is nice that we honor people who matter, especially if we're going to have, you know, every left-wing idol get a day. I think Charlie Kirk should get a day.
Yeah, I think, I mean, it's good.
And I think Trump's going to do a big ceremony at the White House tomorrow too for Charlie.
Is he getting the Presidential Medal of Honor tomorrow?
Yes.
Or is that later?
Mm-hmm.
No, that's tomorrow. So he's going to be doing that, and all the TPUSA folks are going to be there, and it's going to be, you know, a big type of remembrance.
Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, I think like keeping his memory alive is important because we need to remember his death. People need to remember that he lost his life trying to talk to the left. This is one of my biggest gripes with a lot of the conspiracy theories out there, which seem to have kind of died off a little bit now. Like, we're running a lot of cover for fucking troon assassins. Like, we know that they do this. They killed kids at a church in Minnesota. They killed immigrants at an ICE facility. And as far as we know, they killed Charlie Kirk. And there's, sure, well, we need more information. We need to know blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to go down that road. But I'm going to talk about, like, we need to remember his death forever. I find it like, Jesus forgives. I don't. And like, I think people need to remember who we're dealing with, because a lot has been done to obfuscate the fact that the radical left is killing us. We're talking about Israel. We're talking about trapdoors, Mario tubes, but we're not talking about leftists who kill us and who have been killing with impunity for the past 10 years. Leftists who firebomb TPUSA dealerships and firebomb, cyber trucks. And we just had another leftist, like, smear dog feces all over somebody's car. Like, these people want you dead. And I want people to be reminded of that every year. Like, I think that might be petty. That might not be the best lesson, but it's what I want. Because I want people are so quick to forget that these people will kill you. They want you dead. I mean, we just had the fucking text messages from the somebody running for attorney general.
Yeah.
Like, are people familiar with what those text messages actually said? They were heinous. What is it? Like, I wanted them shot in the head.
He talks about his kids too. It's really vile.
I mean, this is not an isolated incident. This is ingrained in not just blue-haired, soy-infused leftists, but in the politicians. Do they actually say here? Do somebody have a link to them? Like, I want people to see the actual texts. Here. He wrote, 3 people, 2 bullets. Gilbert, Hitler, and Pol Pot. Gilbert gets 2 bullets in the head. Pol Pot was the leader of the murderous Khmer Rouge regime in Cambodia. Connor replied, Jay, please stop. Jones responded, okay. Wait, what is he? I thought he was talking about, who is he talking about?
His opponent. He's running for attorney general.
Yeah. And by the way, his name was Ghaslami Hashmi.
Huh?
As this is a Democrat running for lieutenant governor, said political violence is no place in our country. I condemn it at every turn. Hashmi added that we must demand better of our leaders. I would argue that we must not elect people who are named Ghazala Hashmi in this country, but I guess we're well past that point.
Yeah, I'm sending you a screenshot of the text as I saw them on X if you want to see them.
Yeah, I did. I wanted to see the context of them. Here they are. Thank you.
Yeah.
They say nice things about everyone. If those guys die before me, I will go to their funerals to piss on their graves, send them a wash and something. Jay Jones. 3 people, 2 bullets. Gilbert, Hitler, Pol Pot. Gilbert gets 2 bullets in the head. Spoiler, put Gilbert in the crew with the 2 worst people you know, and he receives those bullets every time. Whoever he's replying here is like, I wonder if that's the person who leaked it. Because he said, like, the person they're talking to is like, please stop. Mm-hmm. It really bothers me when you talk about hurting people or wishing death on them.
Also, that phrase, like, it bothers me when you talk about this, meaning like this isn't the first time.
Yeah.
I would assume. That's how I read that.
And then they were like, you weren't simply asking questions and you know it. Oh, it generally was. You weren't trying to understand. You were talking about and hoping Jennifer Gilbert's children would die. I've told you this before. Only when I feel pain personally do I move. When they feel pain personally, do they move on policy? Like, this is a Democrat running for attorney general who 100% but wanted this person's kids dead and doubled and tripled and quadrupled down on it. Like, that's why Charlie Kirk Day is important, because people need to remember this.
Do you remember during the JD Vance Tim Walz debate when they were talking about gun violence in America, and Tim Walz brought up that his son had like witnessed a shooting, I think at a community college.
No, Tim Walz
campus?
did. Yeah. And
yeah,
then,
Tim Walz brought it
yeah.
up, and JD Vance was like, "I am so sorry that your son had to go through that." You know what I mean? Like
expert gambit, by the way.
just like acknowledging the humanity, being like, yeah, that's an awful thing for your son to see. And like he went on and made a lot of really good points basically about inner city gun violence and how we shouldn't forget those people who are affected by it. But like it's the show of empathy that we want. Like if behind closed doors you're willing to make comments like this, I just think that's gross. I think that's wrong.
Yeah, well,
Now
and I
imagine
think
what they think and don't share, right?
Dude, right? That's what I was gonna say, Luke. Like,
no,
these people are they like I always say, like, a drunk person speaks a sober mind, and usually because that's why I don't excuse people's behavior when they're drunk for the most part. Like, I've been known to be drunk and say some mean things, but there's always like a kernel of truth in what those people say. And so if people will say something to me and they're like, I was drunk, I'm kind of like, you meant it. You meant it. You know, you were thinking that when you said it. And, you know, maybe I'll forgive you for letting your baser instincts kind of take over because you're inebriated. Like, if somebody says heinous shit when they're drunk, they mean it. If people say this shit in private, they mean it. And they're thinking, like Luke said, way worse shit. Like they thought, hey, this is not only okay, but do we know who they were texting?
I'm not sure. I mean, obviously someone they felt like they could speak plainly with, but
they should. I mean, they should be disbarred. Why aren't we having more consequences of this stuff? Like, you're disbarred and disqualified from the election, period. Like that's what the consequence should be.
I mean, also the consequence should be that like the party is like, we disavow, and also all of his former supporters are like, we don't want to back him anymore. But I don't know that we saw that happen.
Yeah, but a lot of voters don't even know about this, and they're going to vote for that person because they just see the Democrat logo and they're like, yeah, we'll vote for him.
He said, I think Todd and Jennifer, do I think that Todd and Jennifer are evil and that they're breeding little fascists? Yes. Like, they're talking about his kids. Like, what the fuck, dude? You should just be disqualified immediately. Like, that's the standard that we should have in all politics. Like, if you cross that line, you can have freedom of speech, but you just can't be an elected official. Sorry, not sorry. If you're going to talk about, if you're going to fantasize about killing your political opponents, no. Like, there are a couple of times where AOC has pretty directly promoted political violence. I don't give a fuck about these stupid censures. They don't do anything. She should be immediately removed from office. Where, like, she was sharing like I think she was also sharing a guide on how to, evade ICE. Like, sorry, you're an elected official. You don't get to tell people how to evade law enforcement. Like, that's just not. We need to have some standards. And there are people, Ilhan Omar has said heinous shit before too. Like, I just feel like the standard should be better. Like, we should just say, by the way, that goes for Republicans too. But, Republicans generally aren't saying stuff like this.
Which is funny because that's what you hear all the time, that Republicans are promoting violence, that they're okay with attacks in the street and things like that. Meanwhile, Republicans are like, we would like law enforcement to do its job, and I don't think they're making this kind of casual joke, which it's gross.
It's not a joke though.
It's not.
Like, I'm not like snapping at you.
No, I'm there with you.
Like, this piece of shit was not kidding. They really mean it. It went from, like, I was so naive, and I still am naive about like a lot of people and just how evil they really are. But like, when these people would joke about it, I'm like, these people are unhinged. Now that people have started dying and they've started like firebombing and they tried to burn down a Democrat's house with his wife and kids sleeping in it.
Yeah. Like,
these people fucking mean it. No more of this like, ha ha ha, freedom of speech. Well, let's just, they're just unhinged. No, like, these people mean it. When they call for the death of their political opponents, they mean it. And like, it just goes back to the, when they tell you who they are, believe them, because that's what they've been doing for the last 20 years. And nobody took them seriously.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, I think one of the issues too is like violence of any kind. The threats are bad. Potentially burning down someone's house, anything like that, involves people who have nothing to do with the politics of it, right? Like,
Yeah.
a firefighter who has to rush into a burning building is now called to put his life on the line because of extreme violence or increasing political violence in America. He didn't ask for that. I'm sure he would do it honorably, but like, it has such a wide-reaching impact that I think that we need to take it more seriously, not just because of like politics, but because there are so many people who are impacted when we have to deal with the fallout of these types of escalating tensions.
Yeah, I mean, Luke, do you think we're going to get any temperature turn down in the near future?
I think so. Ray Dalio came out and had a very interesting interview with Bloomberg talking about how we are already in a civil war.
Yeah.
And then kind of examining it, he made his point, and I kind of thought about it because it's like, what adds to this type of situation that we're in? What's really responsible? I would say social media. For many years, the left was able to say, punch a Nazi, everyone's a Nazi, Trump is Hitler. The right said, learn to code, and they got banned, censored, and destroyed.
Yeah.
The left was emboldened to be as radical and as violent and as inflammatory as they wanted to be. The right still is like, can I say learn to code? Can I still say that?
Yeah.
So they propelled the radicalization, but now we are seeing Google, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook reverse some of those measures, even though I got censored recently by Facebook. And I think they're allowing a real conversation to happen. And I think the more real conversations that do happen, the better we are on not escalating this. But there are other escalatory track works that are there that are adding fuel to the fire. So yes or no, I think it's up in the air.
Yeah. What do you guys make of, it's probably too early. I had this other story, I thought. Doc, get out of here. Oh yeah, the Zoran story. So the Late Show wanted Zoran Mamdani to play this. Did you look into this? This is crazy. Do you want to explain what they were doing?
Yeah. So this is coming out of an interview he did with the New Yorker, and they used some other sources to confirm that this was happening. So basically, Zoran Mamdani is supposed to go on Colbert's show, and typically, he was told these are the kinds of political questions, soft politics, whatever, that Colbert was going to bring up. And apparently, like right before they were about to go out for the interview, the producer asked him if he would play a game, like a thumbs up, thumbs down game. And they would ask him like, Hamas, thumbs up or thumbs down?
Yeah.
Like, Palestine is its own state, thumbs up or thumbs down. And Mamdani, in this interview with the New Yorker that Variety has quoted in this, if you scroll down, says basically like, I couldn't believe they were reducing these things to a game. It made me wonder if
I can't believe he didn't play.
Well, he thinks that's undignified and it's more serious than that, which I don't like actually fault him for.
He also knew he was going to get fucking roasted if he played that. If he involved himself. Yeah.
It also made me wonder, like, I can't tell from the timeline, like, did this impact one of the reasons they wanted to pull Colbert's show? Has anyone heard this story and gotten mad about it? But I don't have any way to verify that. What do you think? Do you think that we're getting too casual with politics?
Well, no, I don't. Go ahead, Luke.
Yeah. I think, if you're a politician, you kind of want to have more nuanced and you want to have a bigger conversation on it. So I'm not surprised he didn't want to say thumbs up or thumbs down to like murder and death and like all this and an extremely like partisan issue that you need to have a real conversation on that isn't just a game show, So I think he made the right move, being like, I don't want to do this. Like this is crazy.
Yeah, he wants to hang out with Hassan Piker and drink energy drinks instead. Why don't you let the people, I think we'll wrap today's show there. It's kind of because like only Israel-Palestine is the only thing in the news right now. And I feel like everyone's probably heard everything there is to say about it, at least right now. Tell the people where they can find your stuff and what you got coming up.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm happy to. Okay. So you can find my work on Rumble and YouTube. I'm Hannah Claire B in both places. I'm also Hannah Claire B on X if you want to follow me there. Like I said, I have a video coming out. It is a Taylor Swift adjacent video, but I think you'll enjoy it. I have a special guest attending. And then I'll have another video out in a couple days on some ideas of how to get more young people involved in the healthcare industry that I thought was kind of interesting. If any of you read the Wall Street Journal, you might know the article that I'm kind of jumping off with. But anyways, yeah, thanks for all the support. It's Hannah Claire B on X, on Rumble, and on YouTube. Luke, where can they find you?
Swifties, yay.
Actually,
I'm so
for the
happy.
anti-Swifties.
Hey, she's
I'm
white
so
and white
happy I
picket
was
fence
able to-
pills. I love it. We're gonna have a baby boom. When she has a
Baby boom.
we're
Baby
gonna
boom.
yeah, there's gonna be a huge Swifty baby boom.
Listen, I'm very youtube.com/wearechange. I'm very proud today of dissuading the ladybug costume. I'm so happy we're one step closer towards
The pumpkin. Yeah, pumpkin supremacy.
I used
I could just cut off the first like 10 minutes of this show. I think I'd be a better person.
I used advanced 4D chess psychological forms of war, and I won today.
He
And I
did.
do it, and I do it all the time.
Yeah.
I do it very. We go deep down the rabbit hole, and it gets weird and it gets strange, and that's what I pride myself on. And I pride myself on the type of dark humor that I'm able to produce that I always show on YouTube.com/wearechange. So I appreciate all you guys checking out my channels. I got 2 more videos coming out today. I released 2 other videos, and then I'm gonna start doing some kind of live things as well. So YouTube.com, just click the notification button so you guys can see it. Thank you so much for having me. It's always a fun pleasure to be on the show.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow at 2 Eastern with
Astrocast
with Hannah Claire. Is gonna have to find another ovary possessor for tomorrow. Otherwise, I could get Nina too, but if you have someone in mind, let me know. But we'll have Astrocast tomorrow, 2 Eastern. Can't wait to see you guys tune in. And everyone go say hi to Viva. So hi Viva.
Hi, Viva. How's your curly hair?
Yeah, ask him if his hair is real. He loves it. All right, all. We'll see you tomorrow.
Tell him to Google Ladybug and Lindsey Graham.
Yes. Ask him to do that.
No,
Ask
do
him
not
to
do this to